evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Celebration 40, an evening of laughter, music, and nostalgia, celebrating Chabad's 4 decades of service to the greater Conejo Valley community. We are privileged to be joined this evening by many esteemed guests of honor, some of whom you will be meeting later in our program. But we'd like to begin by extending a special welcome to a dear friend of Chabad. We call him our brother from a different mother, Agoura Hills City Councilman and 6-time Mayor Dennis Weber. Please rise. He's the better-looking brother, by the way. I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge our corporate sponsor for this evening, BLK, Blackwater Nutrient-Enriched Beverages, as we welcome several of their company's executives who are with us in the audience tonight. We ask them to please rise. Thank you, Blackwater. A woman was walking along Malibu Beach when she noticed a magic lamp jutting out of the sand. She picked up the lantern, rubbed it, and sure enough, a Hasidic genie came out and granted her 3 wishes. The delighted woman replied, "My wishes are as follows. Number 1, I want my husband to have eyes only for me. Number 2, I want to be the only one in my husband's life. Number 3, I want that when my husband gets up in the morning, I'm the first thing he reaches for, and he takes me with him wherever he goes." So the genie, being a Hasidic genie, turned to the woman and said, "No problem." Poof, she became an iPhone. On that note, as difficult as it may be, we like to ask everybody to please tuck your smartphones away for the duration of our program or put them on the silent mode. It will make for a better time for yourselves and those around you. There was once a Jewish concert similar to this one here tonight, wherein shortly after the house lights came down, a strained voice called out from amidst the darkness, "Please, is there a doctor in the house?" As the lights were thrown back on, several men stood up. At that point, the source of the voice, a Yiddish babi, an elderly, sweet woman, rose to her feet as well. She nodded at the men, pulled on the sleeve of her embarrassed granddaughter, and yelled, "Good! Now, if any of you are single, I've got a nice Jewish girl for you." You know, they say that within every rabbi is a frustrated comedian. In fact, the legendary Jackie Mason began his professional career as the rabbi of Congregation Beth Israel in Pennsylvania. That's right. Rabbi Yaakov Maza, as he was known back then. He would inject humor into his sermons and was getting good laughs. After a while, many Gentiles would come to the services to hear his sermons. I was the first Orthodox rabbi of a Gentile congregation, he said. And the more this went on, he decided to institute a cover charge and a 2-drink minimum. But then he figured if this is where things are really headed, he might as well make a real living. And so he switched professions. Rabbis, you hear that? Well, as many of you know, we at Chabad also try to spice up our talks with humor to keep our congregations engaged. But unlike the king of the Borscht Belt, we're not going anywhere. Nor do we have to, because the Jewish world is already blessed with some very, very comics who are at the top of their game. One of them is certainly the man you are about to meet. Having been on the circuit for 30 years and having recently completed tours with Jay Leno and Jerry Seinfeld, Mark Schiff is a comics comedian. He's also a noted playwright, author, and TV personality. You're going to love this, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome a very funny man, Mr. Mark Schiff.
Thank you, Rabbi. Tremendous. Thank you very much. What about a hand for my opening act, Rabbi Shlomo? Very good, very funny, Rabbi. Rabbi had some good jokes, didn't he? He reminded me, I'm going to start with a joke. So there's this old Jewish man, he's 95 years old. It's New Year's Eve, Beverly Hills. He's driving around by himself, 3 a.m. in the morning, 95, Beverly Hills, New Year's Eve. Cop pulls him over and says, "Excuse me, sir, where are you going at this hour?" The man says, "I'm going to a lecture on alcohol abuse, how alcohol ruins your life and destroys families." Cop goes, "Who's giving this lecture at 3 in the morning?" He goes, "My wife." Rabbi now has another joke for his... Anyway, nice to be here. Chabad Conejo, fantastic, right? Beautiful, look at that. I live in Los Angeles, so I left Sunday to get here. Where's the mayor? Mayor Weber, where are you? I got a parking ticket about a month ago there. Can you help me out? Maybe not. So it is good to be here. I was in the back with the rabbis. I felt like I was in the backstage at Shitzel, you know? The show there, if you've seen it. What a great show that is, huh? I love the black hat rabbis. I do. I always wonder, when they go out at night like everyone else, they ask the wives what they should wear. What should I wear? What about the black hat, black jacket, black pants, black shoes, and a white shirt, and a tie with soup on it? What about that? My wife and I went away about a year and a half ago. We went to this hotel, and they didn't have a Shabbos elevator. If you don't know what that is, that's where you're not allowed to press a button over Shabbos, so it stops at every floor. So non-Jews hate the Jews for doing this, actually, because they got to stop at 19 floors for no reason. So if you can't press the button, you got to stand in there till someone comes in. They didn't have a Shabbos elevator, and you look like a crazy person. They walk in, they look at you, and go, "How you doing?" "Ah, pretty good." "You going up?" "Well, it's up to you." "You go up, I'll go up with you." "Well, what floor are you going to?" "Ah, what do I know about floors? I hear 12 is nice, but it's not my business. It's up to you. You do whatever you want." Did some shopping today. I went to one of my favorite stores, the 99-cent store. I love it. Let me tell you, you know you're not doing well in life if you return things to the 99-cent store. If you get back in your car with a can of plums. When I walk in a 99-cent store, I feel good about myself. I walk in, I look around, I think, I can buy anything I want. I can buy the whole store for $11. And they always have items that sound like the original items. I like Del Monte peaches. I'm looking, it says Del Monkey peaches. I bought shaving cream, 99 cents. I get back, I shake the can, I go, tss, tss. No shaving cream, just the sound coming out. Tss. And I'm thinking that's not a bad deal for 99 cents. Then they had men's boxer shorts, 40 pair, 99 cents. And my head's telling me, "Mark, don't buy it, they're ripping you off." I buy it, get home, put a pair on, the fly is on the side. One hole for both legs. I'm walking around. People see me, "Oh, 99-cent store." That's right. My other favorite store is Costco. I love Costco. Yeah, I know, you love it, right? I'm married 29 years. That's a date now for my wife and I. Walk up and down the aisles, get the free cheese. You know, it's nice. Sit in a massage chair for a half hour. I love it. Maybe if the game's on, I'll push the chair in front of the big screen TV and sit there for a while. You know, I'm an idiot. Before I go to Costco, I'm thinking I'll spend $70, $80, $1,700 later. I'm buying mustard for the next 150 years. I looked in this one guy's cart. I'm telling you, he had 6 cases of Drano and 6 cases of toilet paper. And I'm thinking, what kind of diet is this guy on that he needs this type of firepower? What is going on here? And they sell everything at Costco. Absolutely true. I'm telling you, this is true. They sell coffins at Costco. What is this, an impulse buy? I'm online with my wife. I go, honey, I don't feel good. I got a headache for 3 days. I'm going to grab a coffin while we're here. You look a little pale yourself. I'm going to grab one for you, too. It's 30% off the second one. You just put it on top of the car and you'll hold it on the way home. Went for my annual physical about 2 weeks ago. Doctors are incredible. Doctors have this power. First of all, they make you get undressed and sit on that table waiting for them with that white deli paper underneath you, that cheap deli paper. I usually bring a little pickle. I sit it next to me. Get some chips, make a sandwich while I'm waiting. Because I'm Jewish, I have to eat every 11 minutes. And they make you get undressed, sit there for a half hour staring at a wall. And after 20 minutes like this, I start feeling better. I'm sitting there thinking, I'm all right, I got to get out of here. Let me tell you something. Next time you're home, you don't feel well, before you go to the doctor, try this at home. Get undressed and sit on your dining room table. Just sit there, put a little napkin under you, so you get the whole doctor paper effect. Family walking by, I'm going to save the copay on this one. And doctors walk in, they're always in a good mood. You're sitting there, they walk in, hi, how are you? How am I? I'm great. I was just driving by, and I was wondering how you were doing. Why don't you take your pants off and sit with me for a half hour? I have pneumonia because of you now. They ask you all these questions. Do you drink? Do you take drugs? Tell them yes to everything. You drink, sir? Yes, I do. How much? Tremendous amount. Yeah, but how much? I'm going to black out right now. Why am I undressed? Who are you? What kind of diet you're on? Make up the most horrible diet. Well, doc, for breakfast, I usually have a dozen eggs, 4 pounds of cheese, a banana cream pie. Then I smoke a couple of cigars and I jog uphill for an hour. Then I come home, I have a box of salt. Sea salt, because I know it's better for me. Then I ate a 6-pack of butter. Then I get some butter and actually rub it right on my heart. I take a handful of Valium, and I sit in the car with the engine running in the garage. I have no energy. I feel like the life has been sucked out of me. You got a beer laying around the office? And whenever you go see a new doctor, they ask you to fill out the form, put down things like emergency phone number. I always put down 911. Let them call the cops if they want to get me. I'm originally from the East Coast. I grew up in New York, and I'm sure we have some New York people here. Yeah. I used to live with my parents till they moved out, got their own place. And my grandparents lived with us when I was growing up, and grandparents have stories you cannot prove. My grandfather told me he came from the old country. Where is this place? And I looked on every map in the world. There is no old country. And they have stories. He told me he moved to the United States when he was 2 years old by himself. I said, really? He said, that's right, you did that in those days. I was 2 years old. I was in the Russian army. I got shot in the head one afternoon. Looked at my parents and said, Mama, Papa, I'm 2, I'm out of here. 3 years old, got a job putting in high voltage wires for a living. Was electrocuted constantly. And grandparents like to give grandkids money, but they never just hand it to you. They always slip it to you like it's illegal. As soon as everybody leaves the room, my grandfather's like, put this in your pocket, keep your mouth closed. Just shut up, you don't know where you got it. Here's $3, go to college. My grandmother's 94 years old, has glaucoma. This is absolutely true. The doctor told her to smoke marijuana to relieve the pressure of her eyes. 94. Smokes like 6, 7 joints a day. I looked at her, I said, Grandma, stop it with the pot. She looked at me and said, don't hassle me, man. She wants to go see Kanye West next month. It's unbelievable. 94 years old. Some of the most fun we had when I was a kid was when the whole family go in a car. That was the best. But before we go in the car, though, my mother would talk to me like I'd never heard of a car. She looked at me, all right, Mark, we're going in the car. So if you want to go to the bathroom, go now. Because once your father starts the car, that's it. We're driving straight to Bolivia this afternoon. It's 9,000 miles. So you better go right now. If you're not going to be good, tell me right now. We'll just leave you home. Because I have a splitting headache. Mothers never have regular, normal headaches. No mother ever had a normal, regular, only pounding, splitting headaches. Couldn't be from yelling 11 hours a day, could it? And my mother, when I was a kid growing up, you could really threaten your kids. The threats were enormous. You got kids now. You can't threaten them anymore. They will get a lawyer and sue you. My mother would say things like, go ahead, touch that door. I will break your hands off. Open your mouth again. I'll rip the tongue right out of your head. Get in here right now. I'll break every bone in your body. If I have to come in there, I will kill you. That was love when I was growing up. My mother threatened to strangle me. I knew how much she cared. See, a big problem is my mother had no idea what species I was. Because she looked at me and go, okay, we're going out tonight. Please try and act like a human being. I know it's not easy, but please try. And we're going to go out to dinner, so please use your fork. You're 22 years old. And don't make faces at people anymore, okay? My mother actually told me, don't make faces or your face is going to stay like that. Remember that one? One time I had seen my parents in about 8 months. I was fooling around. I knocked on the door. My mother opened the door. I said, Ma, look what happened. Oh, my, look what happened. My face is frozen. You were right. I don't know what to do about it. She said, I told you that would happen. And my mother's a very confused woman, always been confused. She didn't think that I had any idea who she was. Because she looked at me and go, who do you think you're talking to? Who do you think? Do you have any idea who I am? I don't think you do. I am your mother. And I have a splitting headache. And she didn't think I knew who I was because she looked at me and go, who do you think you are? Who do you think you're not my child. My child doesn't act like that. I'm thinking, she doesn't know me, he doesn't know me. I'm out of here. I'll go to the old country, get a job. My parents have been married a long time. They've been married so long, my mother's actually sucked the brain out of my father's head. He just walks around going, just do what she says. I got to lay down for a couple of weeks, do what she says. I got to get a job at night and get out of here. I remember one time, absolutely true story, I was 12 years old, 12. My father takes me into this room by myself to have a talk with me. I'm 12. He looks at me and goes, listen. Listen to me. I'm the boss in this family. I'm the boss. Now, you know your mother gets very upset sometimes, but we have to live here. Okay, she cooks, she cleans. It's not a bad deal. Now, one day, I promise, you'll be moving out, but I'm stuck here the rest of my life. And I have a splitting headache. And I am a married guy, just passed 29 years, about 5 weeks ago, 29 years. Thank you. Went by like 10 minutes underwater. It was really just a breeze, just flew right by. You know, before you get married, nobody tells you what marriage is like. You ever ask people what it's like? They always say the same thing. You'll see for yourself. Yeah, but what's it like? You'll see. Are you happy? Let's put it like this. It's a different type of happiness. Is there joy? Not the right word, actually. It's deeper than joy. Being married is like living on the floor of the Senate. Every day, a new speech and new laws being passed. My wife walks around like some English barrister. From now on, things will be very different in this family. Leave your socks on the floor, there'll be no dinner for the rest of your life. I didn't know so many problems until I got married. Who knew? But thank God she's there to point those things out. And you learn a lot about yourself when you're married. I didn't know that I snored. Do you know there's a law that if you snore, they have to wake you and tell you? It's in the ketubah. Take a look. I don't need this information. I'm out cold, rolling around, having a great time. She's like, honey, get up. You're snoring. I'm like, what? You're snoring. Really? Really? And when people wake you up at night and tell you you're snoring, you're shocked. Really? Snoring? Really? I'm sorry. I didn't hear anything. I'll wake you, tell you when you're drooling, all right? I got a friend, the guy's been married 59 years. I said, what's the secret? You know what he said? Keep your mouth shut. Just shut up. Don't say anything. Don't ask questions. Don't give advice. Just shut up. Just stand in the corner like a security guard. Look around. Make sure nobody's stealing anything from you. Come home from work. Wave your hand. Hey, how you doing? Sit down. Put the TV on. And one day, you'll fall over dead. It'll all be over. So hang in. And my wife is so nervous, too. As soon as I get to bed at night, she's like, is the door locked? I just locked it. Check it again. I just locked it. Will you check it? So I'll get up, check the door, get back in bed. Is it locked now? No, I took the door off the hinges. We don't have a door. And I opened the window. They'll be in about 5 minutes. One night, she wakes me up in the middle of the night, says, I think there's someone outside. I said, that's where they belong, is outside. We're in here, they're out there. And if they come in here, we're going out there. You know what she said? Go outside, see what's going on. But be careful, put a sweater on. Right, I got a turtleneck, they got an axe, great combination. So I get up, she walks me to the door. I go out, she locks the door from the inside. I don't know if she's scared of setting me up. And you get weird questions. The other night, I got up like 4 o'clock in the morning, go to the bathroom. I walk back in the bedroom at 4 in the morning. She looks at me and goes, where were you? I went hunting. I bagged an elk. He's on the couch. Sometimes my favorite thing to do, sometimes I'll get up in the middle of the night, go to the refrigerator, drink a little orange juice out of the container. That's the best, the best. Just me, the orange juice container, the little fridge hum. Beautiful, beautiful. Walk back in the bedroom, more questions. What were you doing? Honey, I had some orange juice. Out of the container? No, I used the glass. I didn't hear you wash the glass. I have drank orange juice out of the container and put a glass in the sink. 29 years, I'm not stupid. And poured a little juice in there so it looked like I used a glass. And turned the water on so it sounded like I was washing the glass. And got some chapstick and drew some lips on the glass. Because of that deception and many others is why I'm still happily married for over 29 years. Hey, you guys have been great. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. What a great crowd. Thank you. Have fun tonight.
Thank you, Mark Schiff, for those great laughs. Earlier this week, Jews the world over celebrated the festival of Shavuot, commemorating the seminal event in all of history, the revelation and giving of the law at Mount Sinai, establishing the eternal covenant between God and Israel. The Talmud tells us, as our ancestors stood before the mountain, they were united ki ish echad belev echad, as one person with one heart, recognizing the awesome implications of what was unfolding before their eyes and of what they were being summoned to become. Whatever differences might have divided them suddenly fell by the wayside with a sense of humility and responsibility, but above all, in total unity and solidarity, they accepted the mission and mandate of serving as a light unto the nations for all time to come. Indeed, throughout the 3,331 years since Sinai. The children of Israel have served as the unrelenting moral compass and conscience of humanity. To paraphrase historian Paul Johnson, in every field of human endeavor, the Jews blazed new trails and elevated the moral and spiritual quality of life for all of mankind. Tragically, for all these contributions to civilization, B'chol dor v'dor, omdim oleinu l'chalosenu. In every generation, they have been those who have risen up and tried to destroy us. From the ancient Egyptians to the Amalekites, from the Greeks to the Syrians, from the Babylonians to the Romans, from the Spanish Inquisition to the Holocaust, the Hamans and Hitlers and purveyors of hate like them have resorted to the vilest forms of cruelty and violence to try and extinguish the light that is Israel. And yet, we have survived and outlived them all. We have thrived and flourished despite them, because first and foremost, HaKadosh Baruch Hu matzilenu miyodam. The Almighty always delivers us from their hands. And true to his promise to our forefathers, those who bless Israel are themselves blessed, whereas those who seek to curse and harm Israel ultimately meet their demise, as history has proven time and again. Furthermore, we survive and we thrive because no matter who, no matter what, no matter when, no matter where, we refuse to be victims. It is precisely because we remain steadfast of our beliefs, values, and ideals that we consistently emerge not as the victims of history, but as the masters of our own destiny. Dear friends, in recent months, we have been seeing anti-Semitism rear its ugly head in various ways in this country and around the world. We've seen it experienced in the veiled and not so veiled hateful words of high-profile government officials and in the media. We've seen it manifested in shocking acts of vandalism, violence, and outright murder. But rest assured, ladies and gentlemen, that 2019 is not 1939. From Israel to Pittsburgh to Poway, a clear, powerful, and unified voice is ringing forth, proclaiming, we are not victims, and we shall not react or respond to these attacks as victims. In a spirit of unity and resolve, reminiscent of Sinai, we've been seeing incredible, rousing demonstrations of love and solidarity taking root and gushing forth from our communities. Celebrations of that which unites us while casting aside that which divides us. Moreover, rather than cower and hide in fear or be intimidated by those seeking to suppress our worship of God and observance of tradition, we are seeing increasing numbers of Jews stepping up and doing exactly the opposite, showing up in the synagogue on Shabbat, taking on new mitzvot, connecting more actively and openly to their heritage and identity. How inspiring that for every attempt to envelop our world in darkness, millions of new bursts of light are illuminating the night skies, making it clear to one and all that Am Yisrael Chai. In the words of Rabbi Nachman of Breslov, Kol ha'olam kulo gesher tsar ma'od. The entire world is a very narrow bridge. V'ha'ikar, and the main thing, ladies and gentlemen, is what? Lo lefached klal. Again, the main thing is lo lefached klal. One more time, but louder. Lo lefached klal. Not to be afraid at all. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all get up from our seats and get ready to sing it out loud together. Let's put our hands together and let's welcome back by popular demand, all the way from Israel, directed and accompanied by award-winning arranger and producer Tomer Adadi, Nadav, Nimrod, and Omer, the amazing voices of Kol Esperanza.
כל העולם כולו קשר צר מאוד, קשר צר מאוד, קשר צר מאוד. כל העולם כולו קשר צר מאוד, קשר צר מאוד. קשר צר מאוד, קשר צר מאוד, קשר צר מאוד. כל העולם כולו קשר צר מאוד, קשר צר מאוד. והעיקר, והעיקר, לא לפחד, לא לפחד כלל. והעיקר, והעיקר, לא לפחד כלל. והעיקר, והעיקר, לא לפחד, לא לפחד כלל. והעיקר, והעיקר, לא לפחד כלל. כל העולם כולו קשר צר מאוד, קשר צר מאוד, קשר צר מאוד. כל העולם כולו קשר צר מאוד, קשר צר מאוד. העולם כולו קשר צר מאוד, קשר צר מאוד, קשר צר מאוד. כל העולם כולו קשר צר מאוד, קשר צר מאוד. והעיקר, והעיקר, לא לפחד, לא לפחד כלל. והעיקר, והעיקר, לא לפחד כלל. והעיקר, והעיקר, לא לפחד, לא לפחד כלל. והעיקר, והעיקר, לא לפחד When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be.
There is no life without its hunger, each restless heart, it's so imperfectly. But when you come and I am filled with wonder, sometimes I think I glimpse eternity. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. Strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders.
You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be. יש תקווה, נשיר כולנו יחד. יש אמונה חזקה מכל הפחד. לא ניפול, לא נרעד, כי אנחנו לא לבד. יש לנו השם אחד. מסתובב פה ושם מסביב לעולם, יש צרות, דאגות, החיוך נעלם, אך אל תראה רק שחור, כי גם זה יעבור. כן, הכל יסתדר, כי השם יעזור. יש תקווה אם נשיר כולנו יחד, יש אמונה חזקה מכל הפחד. לא ניפול, לא נרעד, כי אנחנו לא לבד, יש לנו השם אחד. יש תקווה אם נשיר כולנו יחד, יש אמונה חזקה מכל הפחד. לא ניפול, לא נרעד, כי אנחנו לא לבד, יש לנו השם אחד.
בוא איתי וכתך בידי, אל תדאג, אל תפחד, כי נצעד בד ביד. הקדוש ברוך הוא על כולנו שומר. אל תדאג, כי הכל יסתדר.
יש תקווה אם נשיר כולנו יחד, יש אמונה חזקה מכל הפחד. לא
השם אחד. יש תקווה אם נשיר כולנו יחד, יש אמונה חזקה מכל הפחד. לא ניפול, לא נרעד, כי אנחנו לא לבד, יש לנו השם אחד. יש תקווה אם נשיר כולנו יחד, יש אמונה חזקה מכל הפחד. לא ניפול, לא נרעד, כי אנחנו לא לבד, יש לנו השם אחד. יש תקווה אם נשיר כולנו יחד, יש אמונה חזקה מכל הפחד. לא ניפול, לא נרעד, כי אנחנו לא לבד, יש לנו השם אחד.
Thank you very much. We'll see you very soon.
Good evening. My name is Talia Lewis, and I'm currently a junior accounting major at Texas A&M University. But I grew up for most of my life right here in the Conejo Valley. I even went to high school right around the corner at Thousand Oaks High. I'm here to share with you how I got involved with Chabad and how they've helped me grow and flourish into the strong Jewish woman I am today. My involvement in the Chabad community only began 4 years ago. Before then, I had always participated in Jewish activities through the temple that my parents belonged to, and enjoyed the many programs they offered. I went to the Hebrew school twice a week. I had gone to Jewish sleepaway camp for 8 years, and I even got a little involved in their youth group. Yet despite this immersive Jewish experience, despite the cheers and songs and bar and bat mitzvah parties, I did not feel emotionally or intellectually connected to my faith. I was indifferent toward it. I didn't own my Judaism. To me, Judaism was something that my parents chose to make a part of our lives on some level. It was not something I engaged in seriously, not something to care about. I existed within it. It did not exist within me. So for the majority of my high school sophomore year, I had no Jewish involvement or education. However, in March of that school year, I heard from Rabbi Aryeh Lang at Chabad of Camarillo about the kickoff event of a C-Teen chapter starting right here in the Conejo Valley. For those of you who don't know, C-Teen is an international Jewish youth group that is run by Chabad rabbis and rebbitzins around the world. When I went to the C-Teen Conejo kickoff, I was immediately welcomed by Rabbi Mendy and Moshe Friedman and the other teens. I had such an incredible time while I was there, and even became the first president of our little Conejo chapter. Since I was the president of our chapter, I had the opportunity to attend the International C-Teen Leadership Retreat that summer. Every summer at the leadership retreat, they bring a rabbi and rebbitzin from a Chabad on campus to talk about Jewish life on college campuses. That year, the first year I went to the retreat, they brought Rabbi Yossi and Manya Lazaroff from the Chabad on campus at Texas A&M University. The Chabad community at Texas A&M is actually much of the reason I chose the university I attend today. But that summer was only the beginning of my involvement in Chabad. I went on to enroll myself in Rabbi Sapo's Conejo Hebrew High classes. Hebrew High allowed me to regularly learn Hebrew and Judaic studies after school at Thousand Oaks High School. Conejo Hebrew High and C-Teen are where I discovered the treasures of Judaism, the immense power and depth of Jewish thought, history, and wisdom. I discovered Jewish learning. I discovered Torah. Before Hebrew High and C-Teen, I never realized how personal Jewish learning could be. Since then, I have been inspired to continue my Jewish learning in college, taking advantage of as many learning opportunities as possible. I participated in the Sinai Scholars Program, an in-depth Jewish learning program packed into 6 classes, a tour of a mikveh, and spending a Shabbat together. I went on birthright with my rabbi from Chabad at Texas A&M. I studied for 6 weeks at a college women's yeshiva program in upstate New York. I went to Snorkel and Study, a college women's Jewish learning program for 1 week in Key Largo, Florida, where, when we were there, we were joined by 100 other young women eager to get in touch with their Jewish identity. My most recent adventure I went on with Chabad on Campus International is Living Links. For those of you who don't know, Living Links is a subsidized, Chabad-organized program for college students across America to travel to Poland for 1 week and learn about what our grandparents and even great-grandparents had to endure. All these programs I was involved in led me to continue my learning in July and August of this summer for 6 weeks in Israel at Machon Alta. Machon Alta is a women's yeshiva for college students. I would not be where I am today without the springboard of the C-Teen and Hebrew High programs right here where I grew up. From my leadership in C-Teen, I also continued on to serve on the student board of my Chabad at Texas A&M and went on to start a C-Teen chapter in College Station, Texas. This past February, I brought my Jewish teens from College Station to the New York Shabbaton. While we were there, we even had the pleasure of joining the Conejo chapter for a Farbrengen on Friday night. It was not only memorable to hear Rabbi Sapo's stories and jokes again, but it was a special night as well. Because that night, I was able to see the merge between my C-Teen chapter when I was a teen and my new chapter that I brought from Texas. Because of C-Teen, I gained the leadership skills I have today. Because of C-Teen, I built strong friendships that remain strong to this day. Because of C-Teen, I embrace my Jewish identity with pride and strength. Because of the Conejo Hebrew High, I gained a strong foundation of Jewish thought, history, and wisdom. Because of Hebrew High, I learned the importance of what it means to be Jewish. Because of Hebrew High, I continue my Jewish learning whenever and wherever I can. I am the strong Jewish woman I am today because of the strong foundation of learning and identity I built in C-Teen and Hebrew High. I want to conclude by saying that these programs would not be possible without Rabbi Mendy and Moshe Friedman, and of course Rabbi Sapo and Rabbi Bryski. Thank you for all you continue to do for the Jewish teens in the Conejo Valley. I also want to thank everyone here who supports these programs. You are helping empower Jewish teens in the Conejo Valley for generations to come. Thank you.
The Conejo Valley, 1979, a new frontier to be settled by Chabad.
Chabad Hakim in California, was in der reingekommen.
What to the skeptics was a fool's errand, to the emissaries of the Lubavitcher Rebbe was a challenge to be embraced and met head-on. With faith and daring, the Shluchim came west, starting up a Hebrew school and summer camp for children, classes and study groups for adults, services and holiday events for families, opening their doors to one and all with unconditional love, joy, and warmth.
A little bit of pain won't break your heart. A few wise words won't make you smart. A little bit of sun won't dry you out. 2 raindrops won't end this drought. But a little bit of friendship goes a long way. If you got a friend, you'll be okay. A little bit of friendship goes a long way. It'll bring you some muzzle, you'll be okay. So give me a whistle and muzzle. Give me a whistle and click.
Creative and innovative, colorful and energetic, Chabad of the Conejo established itself as a cutting-edge outreach organization. The loving and devoted Rebbitzins would open their homes and their hearts to teach and to share, to build deep connections with mothers and children, to engage in study and dialogue with peers and professionals. In 2005, a beautiful mikvah would be built in Oak Park to enrich and elevate the spiritual character of Jewish family life in the Conejo. Throughout the holiday of Hanukkah, Chabad's public menorah lighting celebrations would ignite the hearts and souls of Jews from all walks of life.
Participate in the Chabad's many charitable events and wish the Chabad continued success.
Speak about our brothers and our sisters behind the Iron Curtain.
From city halls to shopping malls, from carnivals to festivals, from one end of the Conejo to the other, young and old would come out in vast numbers to identify with the menorah's message.
I'm delighted to join with Chabad of the Conejo in celebrating your 20th anniversary.
We specialize in happiness.
I have to get bigger candles.
There is one who contributes and wants others to contribute.
A sense of purpose and meaning.
As this has been our finest year ever.
He always says, Hineni.
In this short time, Chabad has built an infrastructure of independent but connected centers around the world with the primary purpose of enabling Jews everywhere to be in touch with their heritage, to bring Judaism to places where it was lost and in need of awakening.
Over the years, Chabad of the Conejo would expand to 9 regional centers, including such cities as Oak Park, Thousand Oaks, Newberry Park, Simi Valley, North Ranch, and a multi-purpose educational facility in Agoura Hills called the Center for Jewish Life. It's in this center that many of the Conejo Jewish Academy's renowned adult education classes and lectures would be delivered. Ensuring that Jewish education does not end with the celebration of Bar or Bat Mitzvah, Chabad's Hebrew High School challenges and stimulates the hearts and minds of the Jewish adults of tomorrow.
We are the future. Thank you, Honoree Center.
The C-Team program offers enriching social experiences in a positive Jewish environment. In 2019, the Conejo Valley's program was named C-Team Chapter of the Year from among more than 100 such chapters across the United States. Where there can often be loneliness and neglect, Chabad Sunshine Club brings rays of love, companionship, dignity, music, and joy into the lives of seniors. Our bubbies and zadies deserve nothing less. Chabad's Friendship Circle.
I think friendship is the one thing that's been missing in our life.
A program that provides social, recreational, and cultural activities for children with special needs and their families. Hundreds would participate in the annual Friendship Walk to raise funds and awareness for Chabad's Friendship Circle. In November 2018, when the infamous Woolsey Fire, the largest wildfire on record for LA County, displaced thousands of people from their homes, Chabad of the Conejo sprang into action, setting up a resource center for those in need of provisions, assistance, or counsel. Amidst the chaos of tragedy and loss, panic and despair, Chabad served as a calming force of friendship, reassurance, and strength. This is the story of a 40-year-old miracle in the making, a milestone consisting of many milestones. This is Celebration 40.
ככה היה, וככה זה גם עלה, יהודים נשמה בוערת. בכל מקום ובכל ארץ, לא רוצה שיהיה אחרת. יהודי אני, זה משהו נצחי. עברי אנוכי ויש השם, השמיים אני הולך. עברי אנוכי ויש השם, אלוקי השמיים אני הולך. אני יהודי, יהודי אני שומר.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rabbi Moshe Bryski, and I've been part of this community and this organization for 36 of those 40 years. I'd like to share a short story with you. Back in the 1950s, a group of some 20 college students had an audience with the Lubavitcher Rebbe in his office at the Chabad headquarters in Brooklyn. At one point in their discussion, one of the students posed the following question. Rabbi Schneerson, he said, I know people refer to you as the Lubavitcher Rebbe, but what does that mean? What do you do from this little office? What's your job description? The Rebbe smiled, he paused for a moment, and he said, you see the light switch there on the wall? That switch is connected through electrical wires and currents to a bigger wire that is connected to a power station in downtown Brooklyn. And at that power station in downtown Brooklyn, there are these huge generators that are connected by wires and electrical currents all the way to Niagara Falls on the Canadian border, where these awesome waterfall churn these massive wheels that produce powerful electrical currents. And this tremendous energy, which has to be toned down and contracted, lest it blow the circuits, flows through those wires all the way back to the power station in downtown Brooklyn. And from the power station in Brooklyn, this energy is contracted further still so that it can flow into the wires that are ultimately connected with that little light switch you see there on the wall. So imagine that, said the Rebbe. All this incredible energy is right there at your fingertips. All you have to do is flip the switch. You flip the switch, and suddenly there's light. And suddenly you can see. No need to stumble in the darkness. You can see clearly what's in front of you and what's going on around you. The same is true of the human soul. God endows each soul with a light switch that is connected to the source of all energy and light, connected to our spirit and to our matter, to our wisdom and truth, to God himself. And this infinite divine energy must be contracted and toned down so that it can be accessed by you and me in order to illuminate our lives. But if you don't know where the switch is, you can't turn on the light, in which case you remain stuck in the darkness. My job, said the Rebbe, is to help every Jew find his switch and turn on his light. My friend, I think that in describing his life's mission, the Rebbe was likewise describing what he commissioned and empowered his disciples and emissaries around the world to try and accomplish, namely to help the people in their respective communities find their proverbial internal light switches so that they could access and harness the divine energy that is their infinite potential. Furthermore, by helping people discover their precious neshamot, their godly souls within, perhaps those folks will in turn go forth and help others find their light switches so that they can access their divine light as well. You might say that the Rebbe visualized Chabad as this massive spiritual grid that could electrify and enlighten the world from east to west and north to south. Ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate this auspicious milestone, Chabad of the Conejo's 40th anniversary, there are many landmark achievements of which this organization and its supporters can stand proud. 9 community centers spanning the region, each offering a full array of outreach programs and Shabbat services and holiday celebrations open to all. A beautiful headquarters center for Jewish life in Agora Hills. A premier adult education institute known as the Conejo Jewish Academy, several Hebrew schools, a Hebrew high school, a C-Teen program, a C-Kids youth program, a summer camp, a friendship circle with children with special needs, a sunshine club for seniors, and social service programs for the hungry and the needy and the troubled and the sick and the incarcerated. There are just a few of the educational outreach and social services of the organization marking its 40th anniversary tonight. And yet there is something else of which Chabad of the Conejo can stand exquisitely proud. Something seldom mentioned, but I think well worthy of recognition and celebration. And that is the ripple effect these programs and activities have had and continue to have literally throughout the world. A perfect example of what I'm talking about is what you heard just moments ago from Ms. Talia Lewis, a graduate of our own CT program. You see, it's not just what she gained as a result of a rabbi in Rebbitzin helping her find her light switch. It's also, and perhaps more so, how she, as a direct result of her C-Teen experience in the Conejo Valley, was motivated to start a new C-Teen chapter in College Station, Texas, with such a program previously did not exist, thereby enabling hundreds and perhaps one day thousands of Jewish kids to recognize and to appreciate who they truly are and their enormous spiritual potential that they possess within. Indeed, over the past 40 years, Chabad of the Conejo has gained a global reputation for serving as a breeding and training ground for some of the most impactful and consequential Jewish leaders, educators, and heroes out there. Some of the most successful college campus rabbis and army chaplains and directors of organizations spent their early years as camp counselors or rabbinic interns right here in the Conejo Valley. Scores of graduates of our Hebrew High program were so inspired by the feelings of love and connection to Israel that they went on to enlist as Chayalim Bodadim, as lone soldiers for the IDF, standing proudly and bravely in defense of our Jewish homeland. It's difficult to walk the streets of Jerusalem and to visit the Western Wall or browse the shops of Ben Yehuda Street without bumping into people who discovered their soul switches what inspired them Jewishly through the classes, lectures, and programs and activities of Chabad of the Conejo. Like the power station in downtown Brooklyn, Chabad of the Conejo has served as a generator of kinetic energy, delivering spiritual light throughout the world via ambassadors who discover their own light switches through this illuminating and inspiring organization that we built together over the past 4 decades. I underscore built together, because all throughout these years, my colleagues and I, along with our spouses, have been so fortunate and so blessed to be joined by some incredibly devoted, conscientious, and generous people who recognize the value and importance of what we were trying to build here in the Conejo and supported our efforts accordingly, sometimes to the point of self-sacrifice. Many of those people are in this room tonight. You know who you are. Our gratitude to you knows no bounds, for it is thanks to you that Chabad of the Conejo was able to give such full and dynamic expression to the Rebbe's vision and motif. This is what tonight's celebration 40 is all about. You know, the number 40 holds great significance in Jewish tradition. Our sages tell us that one's 40th year heralds the onset of Bina, of deeper understanding. We know that Moses spent 40 days and 40 nights at the peak of Mount Sinai absorbing Torah's wisdom from the mouth of God himself. And of course, we know that our ancestors spent 40 years journeying across the Sinai desert before they were deemed spiritually ready to enter the promised land. Indeed, throughout Jewish literature, the 40 mark represents transition, comprehension, birth and rebirth, a turning point between past and future. And so, yes, our beards were a lot darker, and we were a lot younger and skinnier in the pictures you saw projected on the screen a few minutes ago. The years have sure flown by, but make no mistake about it. As we at Chabad of the Conejo now find ourselves at these pivotal 40-year crossroads, we've only just begun. To be sure, it is important to reflect upon the past. In fact, the Torah portions we'll be reading in the synagogue for the next several months recount in great detail the events that transpired during our ancestors' first 40 years as a nation as they made their way through the wilderness. Why? Because these are endless lessons to be learned from one's formative years. But the point of the exercise is to then take those lessons and use them as a catapult to reach even greater heights. As Jews, our past informs our future. We build upon our past. We are emboldened by our past so that we may meet the challenges of our future with a renewed sense of resolve, focus, and determination. Likewise, everything that has transpired over the past 40 years to transform the Conejo Valley from a spiritual wasteland, Jewishly speaking, into a thriving oasis of Jewish community life is worthy of celebration, and celebration we shall. But as we look back at those humble beginnings in one tiny storefront in Westlake Village, I think that the most salient and striking message it should convey to us is this: if we were able to accomplish so much with so little, imagine what we can yet accomplish with all of this. We've come a long way, that's for sure, but the road ahead must be broader and brighter still. And to whatever degree you help make this miraculous milestone possible, we invite you, we encourage you to be an even greater and more integral part of the miracles that yet await us in the decade number 5 and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, it is in this spirit of linking reflection with projection that we've chosen to celebrate our 40th anniversary by paying tribute to those who were honored at Chabad of the Conejo's galas over the past 4 decades. Some of these esteemed individuals could not be with us this evening, but many of them are right here in this room tonight. At this time, I would like to ask my dear colleague and friend who's been with me almost since the very beginning, Rabbi Yitzchak Sapachinsky, to please join me on stage as we announce the names of Chabad's Hall of Famers, and ask each of our honorees to please rise in place and allow yourselves to be recognized.
The honorees from 1988, Martin and Irene Rosenberg. 1991, Carrie and Joyce Samuels. 92, Andrea Yekutiel Dolny. 1993, Leah Weiss. 1994, Maury and Lisa Friedman. 95, Ellie and Sandra Eisenberg. 97, Steve and Iris Gaines. 1998 and 2014, Stuart and Carrie Greenberg. 1998, Ronnie and Karen Resner. 1999, Jay Lewitt. 2001, Arlene Agris. Also 2001, in memory of her late husband, Anthony, Mrs. Justine David. 01, Judge Frank and Shira Johnson, and Shira's mom, Lorraine Rosen. 2002, Armand of Blessed Memory and Simone Tedgi. 2002, as well as 07, Steve and Linda Wasserman. 2003, in the memory of his parents, Yitzchak and Chaya Aviram, Dvir and Meirav Aviram.
2003, Tom and Talia Block. 2003, and again in 2013, Steve and Sheila Fenster. 2004, and again in 2018, Dr. Michael and Robin Feynman. 2004, Drs. Ranon and Rivka Yudgaf. 2005, B. Greenberg. 2005, Terry Rubin. 2005, Martin and Joy Teitelbaum. 2006, Noam Lotan. 2006, Sherry Segundo. 2008, Ned of Blessed Memory and Laurie Miller. 2008, Kathy Vanderland. 2008, Dr. Barry and Debbie Wallman. 2009, Hal of Blessed Memory and Judy Standell. 2010, Ronnie Haviv. 2010, Bernard and Dorora Warschauer. 2013, Don Block. 2014, Wendy Levinson. 2016, Ron and Sandy Stackler. 2017, Isabel Schneer. 2017, Dennis Weber. 2018, David and Hannah Hornstein. Thank you and Mazel Tov to Chabad of the Conejo's Hall of Famers. Speaking of honored guests and early day pioneers, we are privileged to be joined this evening by a man whose father, the late Mr. Art Wizen, a visionary and philanthropist who I had the pleasure of meeting when I first came out here, was one of the founding fathers, if you will, of the city of Agoura Hills. Well, Art Wizen's son, Mr. Bruce Wizen, has certainly carried his father's baton forward and then some. In addition to the Jewish Community Foundation, the Genesis Charitable Group, and the Wizen Family Foundation, Bruce Wizen has been at the forefront of many worthy causes. We're gratified by Mr. Wizen's friendship and support for Chabad over the years, and we look forward to working together in the pursuit of newer visions and greater dreams for the future. With that, I'd like to ask Mr. Bruce Wizen to please rise and be recognized.
Dear friends, the list of people to thank is long, but the night is not long. So please indulge me just a quick moment as I recognize our talented and dedicated colleagues, Rabbi Yisrael and Leah Levine, and Rabbi Shlomo and Tovi Bystrytsky. What greater nachas can there be for parents than to have our married children return to our community to assist us in our work? Tonight we pay tribute to the trailblazing work of Rabbi Eli and Rachel Bryski Labor, Rabbi Label and Chanesteri Bryski Kahanov, and Rabbi Mendy and Mushka Sapich, it's a tough name, Mendy and Mushka Sapichkinsky Friedman. And we pay tribute to an incredible staff of teachers, youth directors, volunteers, and the wonderful office staff led by none other than Leah Weiss. And of course, it goes without saying that we salute each and every rabbi and rebbitzin of the 9 Chabad centers that you saw on the video earlier. And finally, I'd like to shout out, I'm told that in this sea of people that's out here tonight, is Chabad of Westlake's landlord for the past 40 years. John, I hope we've been good tenants for the past 40 years. You've been a wonderful landlord, and why don't we have a drink tonight, and maybe 40 years, how about 4 months free rent? What do you say, John? They love it, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax, and enjoy the evening as we welcome back Kol Esperanza.
Spend all your time waiting for that second chance, for the break that'll make it okay. There's always some reason to feel not good enough, and it's hard at the end of the day.
I need some distraction, oh beautiful release. Memories seep through my veins. They may be empty and weightless, and maybe I'll find some peace tonight.
In the arms of the angel, fly away from here, from this dark old hotel room and the endlessness that you feel. You are pulled from the wreckage of your silent reverie. You're in the arms of the angel. May you find some comfort here. So tired of the straight line, and everywhere you turn, there's vultures and thieves at your back.
The storm keeps on twisting.
Keep on building the lies that you make up for all that you lack.
It don't make no difference. Skeptic one last time.
It's easier to believe in this sweet madness, oh, this glorious sadness that brings me to my knees. In the arms of the angel, fly away from here, from this dark old hotel room and the endlessness that you feel. You are pulled from the wreckage of your silent reverie. You're in the arms of the angel. May you find some comfort here. In the arms of the angel, fly away from this dark hotel room and the endlessness that you hear. You are pulled from the wreckage of your silent reverie. You're in the arms of the angel. May you find some comfort here. You're in the arms of the angel. May you find some comfort
Ai serra in nieve ne saliete, tu sai adoro.
Tu sai adoro. Alas, tu cor ingrato che dispiete, farme non può, farme non può. A la fuoco cocce mai si fuie, te la sa star. Te la sa star.
E non te corre appresso, non te struie, solo a guardar.
Solo a guardar.
Yaman, yaman, coppa yamma ya. Yaman, yaman, coppa yamma ya. Culi, culicula, culiculi, culicula. Coppa yamma ya, culiculi, culicula. Culiculi, culicula, culiculi, culicula. Coppa yamma ya, culiculi, culicula.
Se ne saluta la cappa già.
La cappa già. Vecchiota, poi tornata, poi venuta, sta sempre ca.
Sta sempre ca. La cappa volto a volto, attorno, attorno, attorno a me.
Attorno a me. Sto cuore canta sempre in un tal giorno, sposamo in
Sposamo in
Yaman, yaman, coppa yamma ya. Yaman, yaman, coppa yamma ya. Culiculi, culicula, culiculi, culicula. Coppa yamma ya, culiculi, culicula. Culiculi, culicula, culiculi, culicula. Coppa yamma ya, culiculi, culicula.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Thousand Oaks. We're Kol Esperanza all the way from Israel. Thank you so much. We are so happy to be here tonight in support of Chabad, this incredible organization that has become our second family in the past few years. And we are super excited to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Chabad of the Conejo. Now, please let me introduce you to the tenors on the stage. From the great tradition of the tenors of Napoli and Spain, put your hands together for Nadav Bar.
Thank you.
From the grand stages of the opera and the Philharmonic, Nimrod Greenbaum.
And Omer Shaish from the world of pop.
Thank you. Is there a problem with pop? What's going on?
No, it's nice. It's fun.
nice.
It's lots of fun.
Good for karaoke.
Wonderful for karaoke.
You have a microphone. You know I can hear what you say. You know what? You know, forget it. Just because it's not 500 years old and in Italian doesn't mean it's not a classic, right? You know, I'm not quite sure that you two will handle this next pop classic.
Is that a challenge?
Why, yes, it is. Oh, my love, my darling, I've hungered for your touch a long, lonely time. And time goes by so slowly, and time can do so much. Are you still mine? I need your love. I need your love. Godspeed your love to me. Lonely rivers flow to the sea, to the sea, to the open arms of the sea. Lonely riverside, wait for me, wait for me. I'll be coming home, wait for me. Oh, my love, my darling, I'm hungered for your touch. Are you still mine? Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin? 'Cause I can't help falling in love with you.
Like the rivers flow surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too. For I can't help falling in love. For I can't So, how did we do?
I'll give you a solid 8.
Oh, so nice.
Yeah,
but you
very
know,
nice.
it doesn't really matter what musical world we come from and what style we choose to sing in. Our roots come from the same place, the land of milk and honey. And so in bitter days or sweet, our hearts are always there. Israel.
על הדבש ועל העוקץ, על המר והמתוק, על ביתנו התינוקת שמור אלי הטוב, על האש המבוערת, על המים הזכים, על האיש השב הביתה מן המרחקים, על כל אלה, על כל אלה, שמור לי אלי הטוב, על הדבש ועל העוקץ, על המר והמתוק, על הכל נטוע, אל תשכח את התקווה, השיבני ואשובה אל הארץ הטובה. שמור לי על זה הבית, על הגן, על החומה, מיגון, מפחד פתע וממלחמה.
שמור על המעט שיש לי, על האור ועל הכף, על הפרי שלא הבשיל עוד ושנטף. על כל אלה, על כל אלה, שמור לי אלי הטוב, על הדבש ועל העוקץ, על המר והמתוק, על הכל נטוע, אל תשכח את התקווה, השיבני ואשובה אל הארץ הטובה. ערב של שושנים נצא אל הבוסתן, כמו בשמים ולבונה לרגלך מפתן. ערב של שושנים נצא אל הבוסתן, כמו בשמים ולבונה לרגלך מפתן. לילה יורד לאט ורוח שושן נושבה, הווה אל חש לך שיר בלד, זמר של אהבה. לילה יורד לאט ורוח שושן נושבה, הווה אל חש לך שיר בלד, זמר של אהבה. הווה אל חש לך שיר בלד, זמר של אהבה. Come on!
Let me see your hands in the air! Up, up, up!
I know you know this next one. Feel free to join me, all right?
בשנה הבאה נשב על המרפסת ונספור ציפורים נודדות. ילדים בחופשה ישחקו תופסת בין הבית לבין השדות. או תראה כמה טוב יהיה בשנה הבאה. או תראה כמה טוב יהיה בשנה הבאה. או תראה כמה טוב יהיה
בשנה הבאה. עוד תראה כמה טוב יהיה בשנה הבאה. You will see oh how good it will be בשנה הבאה. You will see oh how good it will be בשנה הבאה.
Thank you so much. In the past years, we've been traveling and performing all over the world and have been in many beautiful cities. But the most beautiful city in our eyes, except Thousand Oaks, of course, is the city of gold, the city of culture, religion, and history, Jerusalem.
אוויר הרים צלול כיין וריח אורנים נישא ברוח ארבעים עם כל פעמונים ובתרדמת אילן ואבן שבויה בחלומה העיר אשר בדד יושבת ובליבה חומה ירושלים. ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושלו הלא לכל שירייך אני כינור. But when I come to count your praises sing Hallel to you. With pretty rhymes I dare not crown you as other poets do. Upon my lips is always burning your name so dear, so old. If I forget Yerushalayim of bronze and light and gold, Yerushalayim all of gold, Yerushalayim bronze and light. Within my heart I shall treasure your song and sight. Yerushalayim all of gold, Yerushalayim bronze and light. Within my heart I shall treasure your song and
el sol iluminó. Regresemos al mar muerto por el camino de Jericó. Jerusalén de oro y de bronce brillará para ti, mi violín siempre tocará. Jerusalén shel zahab ושל נחושת ושל אור, הלא לך שירייך אני
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I feel like this will be the right time to introduce you to the person behind everything you see on the stage. He's our musical director, he's our producer, he's the founder of Kol Esperanza. He did all the arrangements, and he is basically our mother and father and everything in our lives. Ladies and gentlemen, Maestro Tomer Haddadi.
Thank you very much. I have 2 children, so I'm not their father or mother, but give it a big hand to these 3 incredible voices. Guys, before I introduce the next song, and we have many beautiful songs for you tonight, I just want to say that we are so honored and happy to be back here. First of all, because we love Chabad. We love Chabad. We think this is an amazing organization, and the fact that you could be anywhere in the world where they didn't even hear of Coca-Cola, but they hear of Chabad, that's amazing. The second thing, yes, I want to thank one person that is a friend to us and is in charge of this beautiful evening, Moshe Bryski. Rabbi Bryski, you know, he's such an inspiring friend to us, and I know that he goes all over the world and gives lectures and he has touched so many lives, you know, thousands of people, and his lectures are viral. I see it on Facebook and I know that Chabad of Conejo is very famous online. So Rabbi Bryski, we love what you do, and thank you for having us again here. The next song that you're gonna hear is a real treat, because it's one of the most famous arias ever written in the opera world, usually sung and made famous by Luciano Pavarotti. And it's from the opera Turandot, and it's called Nessun Dorma. Please welcome to the stage, Nimrod Greenboim. Nimrod Greenboim.
Thank you so much.
Who needs Luciano Pavarotti? But nah, I'm kidding. So talking about Moshe and Rabbi Bryski being a friend, we usually travel. We just came this morning from San Diego. We're going to New York. But when Rabbi Bryski is doing an event, we're always here to add new repertoire and beautiful songs. So celebrating this amazing event of 40 years of Chabad of Conejo, we want to play for you a special song, A Million Dreams from The Greatest Showman. So for the first time, world premiere, welcome back, Kol Esperanza.
I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home.
They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we desire.
'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
There's a house we can build, every room inside is filled from things from far away.
Special things I compiled, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our minds. We don't care if they call us crazy. Run away to a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make. However big, however small, let me be part of it all. Share your world with me. We may be right, we may be wrong, but I wanna take you along to a world I see, to the world I close my eyes to see. I close my eyes to see. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. A million dreams, a million dreams. Think of what this world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
Thank you very much. We'd like to go straight into another song that always really touches us when we sing for Chabad. Because you know, growing up in Israel, you always know that no matter where you go in the world, in good times or bad, there's always going to be this one amazing organization that's always going to have its door open for everyone. Chabad.
כשהלב בוכה, רק אלוקים שומע, הכאב עולה מתוך הנשמה. אדם נופל לפני שהוא שוקע, בתפילה קטנה חותך את הדממה.
שמע ישראל אלוקיי, אתה כל יכול, נתת לי את חיי, נתת לי הכל. בעיניי דמעה, הלב בוכה בשקט, וכשהלב שותק, הנשמה זועקת. שמע ישראל אלוקיי, עכשיו אני לבד, חזק אותי אלוקיי, עשה שלא אבחר. הכאב גדול ואין לאן לברוח, עשה שיגמר כי לא נותר בי כוח.
כשהלב בוכה, הזמן עומד מלכת, האדם רואה את כל חייו פתאום. אל הלא נודע הוא לא רוצה ללכת, לאלוקיו קורא על סף תהום. שמע ישראל אלוקיי, אתה כל יכול, נתת לי את חיי, נתת לי הכל. בעיניי דמעה, הלב בוכה בשקט, וכשהלב שותק, הנשמה זועקת. שמע ישראל אלוקיי, עכשיו אני לבד, חזק אותי אלוקיי, עשה שלא אבחר. הכאב גדול ואין לאן לברוח, עשה שיגמר כי לא נותר בי כוח. שמע ישראל אלוקיי, אתה כל יכול, נתת לי את חיי, נתת לי הכל. בעיניי דמעה, הלב בוכה בשקט, וכשהלב שותק, הנשמה זועקת. שמע ישראל אלוקיי, עכשיו אני לבד, חזק אותי אלוקיי, עשה שלא אבחר. הכאב גדול ואין לאן לברוח, עשה שיגמר כי לא נותר בי כוח.
If I were a rich man, I would diggy, 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 diggy down. All day long I'd biddy, biddy bum. If I were a wealthy man, I wouldn't have to work hard. I would diggy, 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 diggy down. If I were a bitty, bitty rich, idle, diddle, diddle, diddle man, I build a big tall house with rooms by the dozen right in the middle of the town. A fine tin roof with real wooden floors below. There would be one long staircase just going up and one even longer coming down, and one more leading nowhere just for show. If I were a rich man, I would dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it down. Lord, who made the lion and the lamb, you decreed I should be what I am. Would it spoil some vast eternal plan if I were a wealthy man? To life, l'chaim, 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 to life. If you've been lucky, then Monday was no worse than Sunday was. Drink l'chaim to life, l'chaim, 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 l'chaim to life. One day it's honey and raisin cake, next day a stomach ache. Drink l'chaim to life. God would like us to be joyful, even though our hearts lie panting on the floor. How much more can we be joyful when there's really something to be joyful for? To life, l'chaim, 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 to life. It gives you something to think about, something to drink about. Drink l'chaim, to life, l'chaim.
This next song is called The Prayer, and it reminds me of a personal story about a prayer. Growing up in Israel, my mother always used to tell me that she prayed that when I grew up, I wouldn't have to join the army because peace would come to our region. I think all our mothers had that prayer, but we ended up growing up and joining the army and serving our country with pride. You see, I think she had that prayer because she lost her only brother when he was only 19 years old in the army. And now it is our prayer that the next generation will find a way to live a life of peace, and that the mother's prayer will be answered.
Watch us where we go, and help us to be wise in times when we don't know.
Let this be our prayer when we lose our way.
Lead us to a place, guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll be safe.
La luce che tu hai,
I pray we'll find your light,
nel cuore resterà,
and hold it in our hearts.
Ai ricordarci che
when stars go out each night,
eterna stella sei, nella mia preghiera.
Let this be our prayer when shadows fill our way. Lead us to a place, hide us with
this be our prayer.
Just like every child.
Just like every child.
Need to find a place. Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be saved. Ela fede, aiace soi noi, sento che ci salverò.
Thank you very much. This next song is one of my favorite songs to sing. It is a tribute to Leonard Cohen, one of the biggest Jewish musicians of our generation. And I would love for all of you guys to join me.
Now I've heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do ya? And it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the befocking composing. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Baby, I've been here before. I've seen this room and I've walked this floor. I used to live alone before I knew ya. And I've seen your flag on the marble arch. And love is not a victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah. Maybe there's a God above, but all I ever learned from love was how to shoot at someone who outdrew ya. No, it's not a cry that you hear at night. It's not somebody who's seen the light. It's a cold and it's a broken heart.
Omer Shaish.
Thank you so much.
All right.
עד הלילה רב שירנו הבוקר לשמיים. שובי שובי אורתנו מחודשת שבעתיים. שובי שובי אין לה סוף, כי דרכנו אין לה סוף, היא עוד נמשכת השרשרת. כי ליבנו לב אחד מעולם ועד עד, כי עוד נמשכת השרשרת. נמשכת השרשרת. זמר זמר לך, זמר זמר לך, זמר לך בכורתי בכורתי. המעגל סובב, זמר לך דובב, זמר לך בכורתי בכורתי. הררייך המה ישמחו, את מחול ההורה יסר. אלף פרחים לפתע יפרחו, יכסו את אל המדבר. אדמה, אדמתי, נחומה אדמותי. אדמה, אדמתי, נחומה אדמותי. רוח חרבונייך הרדיח, רוח הרדיח. הרסתיך לי בדם, שאדם ונדם. על גינו שתחרב שרח בעצם סובבנו דבר ונתלקח מן השמחה שבנו היי 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 עברה ונתמלא שמחה שמחה כמלוא העין היי 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 שירו עלה 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 וברעיין עלה וברעיין היי 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 נידאי סובי ממטרה, תפזר הנה אורה, סובי והשיזים מים. את יריע וסרה, אדמה תיתן פריה, ואין גשם משמיים, גשם משמיים.
Thank you very much. Now, straight into our rendition, Our Way, of good old Frank Sinatra's My Way.
And now the end is near, and so I'll face the final curtain. My friends, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain.
I've lived a life that's full, I've traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. Did what I had to do, saw it through without exemption. Plan each charted plan, each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall, I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing. And now, when tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way.
Oh no, not me.
I did it my way. Oh, what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and of the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blood and did it my way. Yes, it was
Thank you so much.
Quando sono solo sogno l'orizzonte, mancano le parole. Io lo so che non c'è luce, una stanza quando marca il sole. Se non ci sei tu con me. Su le finestre mostra tutto il mio cuore che hai acceso. Chiudi dentro a me la luce che hai incontrato per strada. Time to say goodbye. Paesi che non ho mai venuto, vissuto con te. Adesso sì, vivo con te. Partirò su navi per mari che non lo so, no, esistono più. It's time to say goodbye.
Quando sei lontana sogno all'orizzonte, mancano le parole. E io sì lo so che sei con me. Tu mia luna, tu sei chi con me. Mio sole, tu sei chi con me.
Time to say goodbye. Paesi che non ho mai venuto, vissuto con te. Adesso sì, vivo con te.
Thank you so much.
עושה שלום במרומיו.
Dance with us. Can we get some light in the audience?
ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. הבאנו שלום עליכם, הבאנו שלום עליכם, הבאנו שלום עליכם, הבאנו שלום, שלום, שלום עליכם, הבאנו שלום עליכם, הבאנו שלום עליכם, הבאנו שלום עליכם, הבאנו שלום, שלום, שלום עליכם. אהבה, נגיד לה אהבה, נגיד לה אהבה, נגיד לה ונשמחה. אהבה, נגיד לה אהבה, נגיד לה אהבה, נגיד לה ונשמחה. אהבה נרננה, אהבה נרננה, אהבה נרננה ונשמחה. אהבה נרננה, אהבה נרננה, אהבה נרננה ונשמחה. פורחים ולשמח, פורחים ולשמח, פורחים ולשמח, פורחים ולשמח, פורחים, פורחים ולשמח, פורחים ולשמח, פורחים ולשמח, פורחים ולשמח, פורחים ולשמח, פורחים ולשמח.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, Chabad of the Conejo. Thank you for having us here. Have a good night. Thank you, Rabbi Bryski.
Tomer Adadi.
Rabbi Bryski.
This is the man.
Thank you, Chabad.
Thank you, Rabbi Bryski. Thank you, Chabad. Thank you. You were an incredible audience. The standing, I don't know what to do. I just want to say thank you to my wife that is doing all these fabulous videos. Yali. She's back there. One more time, Kol Esperanza.
Thank you.
And our fabulous musician on stage. Ariel on guitars. Itai on drums. Kfir on the bass. And Yuri on the woodwinds. Thank you.
Piano musical director, Tomer Adadi.
Shalom.
Do you want one more song? I don't know. Is it okay to do one more song? Okay, we'll do, Yali will do the Imagine medley. So, come on. Come on, guys. Let's do Imagine.
תודה.
Imagine there's a heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky.
emotions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people living life in peace. Oh, you may say I'm a dreamer.
Can we have some house lights?
But I'm not the only one.
That's amazing.
I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. In 1973, back in Israel, Naomi Shemer wrote her own version to the Beatles' hit song, Let It Be, expressing the wish for the end of war and the safe return of the troops. It was true then, and still is true today. Let it be, Lu Yehi.
עוד יש מפרש לבן באופק, מול ענן שחור כבד, כל שנבקש לו יהי. ואם בחלונות הערב, אור נרות החג רועד, כל שנבקש לו יהי. לו יהי, לו יהי, אנא לו יהי, כל שנבקש לו יהי. לו יהי, לו יהי, אנא לו יהי, כל שנבקש לו יהי.
And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. And though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Lu yehi, lu yehi, ana lu yehi. Kol shemevakesh, lu yehi. Lu yehi, lu yehi, ana lu yehi. Kol shemevakesh. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. תודה רבה, לילה טוב.